So let's see, I have C, B, A, so I got a full pair of C's, and I have a partial pair of A's. That means I'm going to be forced to use the sine law here. There's no way I could do the cosine law. The cosine law would require me to have all the sides and a missing angle. But because I don't have this side, the only other way to use the cosine law is to then have the B. You need to have both angles and the side that's opposite the angle you need, and I just don't have that. So because I got a full pair and a partial pair, that's the hint to me that I should use sine law, and I'm going to find capital A first. So I'm going to write capital A, and I'm forced to use the sine law in these cases. So because I want capital A, I'm going to put the capital A on top over lower a, and I'm doing C's, so I have to use C's. Sine angle A. I do not know the angle, but I do know that this side is 15, and sine of 70. I don't know what sine of 70 is. I can use the calculator or the chart, and 25. So I'm just going to use the chart because I don't know why. This is right here. Sine of 70. So 70.940. Now this is rounded, but 0.940. I'm just going to use it anyways. I'm going to write here, I'm going to multiply. I don't like this 15. I'm going to get rid of that and move it over onto this side. So times that by 15. Now I guess I could figure out what this is. And I will use a calculator. So here it is, 0.940 divided by 25 times by 15. What is that? 0.564. 0.564. Now your calculator can actually do this. If you have this, in order to get A alone, you see how there's a sign there, you can actually just do sine inverse. So sine inverse of 0.564, and I mean 564 is rounded, so we're kind of already off this. Oh, am I in, this is a good, yep, I'm in radians mode, so I'm going to change that to degrees. And I'm just going to repeat that. Okay, so it's around 34.3. But another way to do that is just to look at 564 for sine. And you'll see here why this ends up, the calculator only spit out one answer, but we're looking for 564. Okay, well, I'm going to say, I'm looking right here between 34 and 35. It's closer, 64 is 5 away versus 10 away, so it's actually more closer to the 34. So I'm just going to write A is approximately 34 degrees. Remember, we did the calculator, we got 30, whatever we got, 34.3. Yeah, 34.3. But 564 is not the only option. So I used 559. So I'm going to try to find 559 again on the other page. 559, 146. 146. So I have two scenarios to consider. So I look, and I have B left. So I need to figure out what is B going to be? What will B be? Given that A is 34 and C is 70. Yeah. So we'll bring up the calculator. So you have 180 degrees in a triangle, but you subtract 70, and you then have to subtract 34. Okay, so my B could be 76. Alternatively, and maybe you can see where this is headed, if you have 180 degrees and you take away the 70 and then you take away the 146, you get a negative angle. You get negative 36. And you can't obviously have a negative angle in a triangle, which is why this one doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to write rejected. Well, apparently I'm not going to write rejected. There we go. So we have here, if I just take a look at comparing both these questions, they both forced me to use a sine law. I had to use a sine law and find angle C initially. Here I was forced to use a sine law and find angle A. Doesn't matter what they're called. With the first example, I got two possibilities that both made sense. So then I had to use both possibilities to figure out my missing angle, and then use both of those angles individually to find out my sides. It is the most involved a question could get. This is the most, like, look at how much there is there. This is an example where I thought I was going to have to do that again. I did the sine law originally because I was forced to. I was upset about it, but whatever. And so I looked, and then to my surprise, I was getting an answer that got rejected, which is awesome. That means I don't have to do any more work to find two missing sides. I can just find the one missing side. I'm going to write down A is 34 degrees, and B is 76. And those are the only possibilities. So now I can find lowercase b, knowing I have got capital B of 76, and that's the only option. So lowercase b, again, I like to use the cosine law. So I'm just going to write that down and kind of move things around. So b squared equals a squared plus c squared minus 2ac times cos of b. And cos of b, we know it's only one option this time. Cos of 76 degrees. And we need to find b squared, and I don't remember what a was. A is 15 and c is 25. Okay, I don't know what happened here. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay, so 15 and 25. I don't remember the order, but it doesn't actually matter. 15 and 25. So, I don't know what this is. Is that 225? Is this 625? Minus, no idea what that is. So I'll just punch that in, and 750 times cos of 76. You could use a calculator, but I'm just going to use the chart. 76, and I have to do cosine. That's up here. 242. So there's only one option, which is nice. Just 242. And then I'm going to multiply all this together in my calculator and add it and see what I get. 668.5, and then I got to square root that. So my b will be 25.85. So it's kind of 25.9, which, I mean, really, let's say 26. I have some leeway here. So then I can just write this down. Well, apparently I'm not going to box that. Let's see if this works. Yeah. So B is 26. Capital B is 76. And I did not fill it in. So let me fill this in right now. A, B, nope, I'm not apparently going to do that either. A, B, C. A, B, C. Let's erase this. And so A, so I'm going to write down, what did we get? So capital C was given to us at 70 degrees. Little a was 15. Little c was 25. And then I found A to be 34. And then this to be 76 degrees. And then I found this to be, what was that? Around 26. These are all approximate. I should add some approximations here. 26. So I understand that there is a lot of work that goes into solving a triangle. I just want to reiterate, the next two are going to go a lot faster. These ones we were forced to use sine. And if you want to memorize, if you have angle, side, side, angle, then side, or if you have side, side, angle. Those scenarios, you will always be forced to using the sine law. You will always have to consider two cases. It's just that sometimes, like this one, we were lucky to reject one of them. This is the quote-unquote worst-case scenario where you had to find C, two possibilities, so then you had to find both possibilities, and then you had to find a missing side, and you had to consider both possibilities, and so you had this giant box right here of all the different things. Like I said, second one a little bit easier, rejected one, just found the missing side using cosine. And then, finding using the cosine, yeah. So the next two should be a lot more straightforward. You're going to be forced to use cosine law, and then we'll continue to use cosine law through the whole thing.